we're in trances, going off to different places, different planets. Watch your aura pass me by, losing balance. What if we run out of time and second chances? Empty-handed. You like the fast life, you like to drive, get down and dirty, act like the bad guy.
Hey, good morning, love. Welcome to my channel. I got all kinds of stuff in my hands today. It's like, I got so much stuff. Like, not only am I the gadget girl, I am the hair product girl, I am the makeup brush girl. Like, if it's out there, I want to buy it. But before we jump in, I'm gonna go over a couple of house rules. On this channel, we share, okay? By sharing the content, it helps the message spread around the world. Share this channel, invite someone else to join our tribe. That's how we grow. We're gonna comment here. By you sharing your story, it inspires someone else, okay? And here, in this space, we subscribe. So I'm gonna need you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Our messages about intentional self-care, healing, growing, and thriving, they need to travel around the world, and that's the only way that that's gonna happen. So I'm gonna need you to do your part. I appreciate each and every one of you. And so today we're gonna talk about hair. You have traveled with me on my hair journey. Some of you are on that journey, and some of you are watching this video because you're ready to step into the journey. And by me sharing my story, sharing my journey, I hope it inspires you. There was a time, and it wasn't that long ago, where I had thinning, balding hair. And I really don't know what was causing that. I do know this. Girl, I used to pluck my grays. I remember in my early 40s, yeah, like I used to do that. I used to pluck my grays. My early 40s, as a gray strand came in, I plucked it out. And I remember sharing that with my mom, and she's like, you know, you really don't want to do that. I was like, I'm not ready for that. That explained some of the hair loss I had in the front. I really had a moment one day, and I was like, oh my God. The hair is gray, I pluck it out. It grows back gray, I pluck it out. I'm gonna have no hair if I keep doing that. So I did stop doing that. But the crown thinning, it is something that is hereditary in the women in my family. And I started noticing that early on in my life. And then it just continued to get progressively worse. I don't know if it had something to do with diet. I was on and off vegan and vegetarian and wasn't really getting a lot of protein in my diet. And so I don't know if that contributed to some of it. So here I was walking down the street one day, and I saw a sister friend, and her hair looked amazing. It was full and thick, and she had this really short, sassy cut that just looked fabulous on her. I said, you know, girl, actually what I said was, girl, your hair looks amazing. And she started sharing the things that work for her. And I asked her for the products, really not knowing what it was going to look like for me, but I knew that my hair was thinning, and it was noticeably thinning where, man, just a simple gust of wind would just part it, and it was a problem for me where I was very self-conscious about it. I came home, I thanked her for her time, I sent her a message, she sent me all the products, and I purchased them that day. I will drop the link to the video where I'm actually talking about and I'm making that product for you. In my Amazon cart, in my hair care must-have products are all the ingredients you need to make this product. I've had viewers share with me, there's one viewer, she actually emulsifies it, heats it up, and puts it in a dropper. I thought that was genius because she's very fine hair, just like I do. And so I'm gonna actually try that. I'm gonna heat it up, put it in a dropper, and use it that way. It's the same products. It just allows me to control a little bit better how much product goes into my hair and my scalp and my hair, which over time, over the week, kind of gets really oily and greasy. So I'm gonna try that. I was rocking a super short kind of Halle Berry cut, and every inch of my scalp was covered, and I had to intentionally part my hair. And so I've gotten away from the product being as consistent, and so I'm back on board being more consistent in using it, and I can see how I've got new growth coming back in. When you're using the hair growth, DYI hair growth formula, that you're using a clarifying shampoo. A clarifying shampoo is super important to make sure that your hair and your scalp are clean, because this is, you know, a heavy product, right? And you want to make sure that you don't have the residue remaining on your scalp, which could clog your pores. Of this intense repair shampoo. My hair feels healthy after the wash. It's not heavy. And I have consistently liked how my hair feels after this product. Because I have grays, and making sure that I keep those grays white is really important. When you apply heat to gray or chemicals to gray, it can turn it yellow. So it's really important to do a toner shampoo. My favorite is this Amika Bust Your Brass Intense Hair Mask. I love this better than the shampoo. So with the repair hair mask, you only apply this and leave it in for 3 minutes. And so I always use gloves because it's purple. It's gonna make everything around it purple. So if you don't want purple fingernails or purple tint to your fingernails, wear some gloves. So that way you don't ruin your nails. And this I leave in for 3 minutes, I comb it out, and then I go in with my Miracle Rescue mask by Pantene, and I found this Klein's Amino Acid conditioner, and I've been mixing it in half and half with the deep conditioner, and so far I like it. It's not giving me the same fullness and body like I experience with the KMB product, but I like it. So I'm just hunting for an amino acid product. There are a couple of things out here on the market. Amika has a repair kit. And so I got a trial from Sephora. I'm going to try that in the coming weeks and see how that compares to some of the other products. And of course, I'm going to let you know. So I take my Rescue, my repair mask, and the Klein's Amino Acid conditioner, and I mix a little bit into the mask. I let it sit for 5 to 7 minutes, and then comb it through, and then I rinse it out. I rinse with warm water, and then I follow it with a cold water rinse. Okay, so that is what I got going on hair care cleansing wise. And then, okay, I have been using a lot of heat to my hair. The blow drying and then the flat ironing it, and I've noticed that my hair is a lot thinner over the course of the last 3 or 4 months. So I've made a commitment that I am not going to be doing any heavy flat ironing of my hair. And I've heard you. A number of you said that I needed to get a soft hood dryer, and I did. And I went to the marketplace, and I said, let me just search the marketplace to see if I could find a hood hard top dryer in really good condition. And what I found was a vintage soft top dryer that just is in pristine condition. The smell of the cap smells like that old plastic that we knew as kids. And there is just something so amazing. And the woman that I purchased it from, she couldn't remember if it was her mom's or if it was her aunt's, but it was in immaculate condition. And oh my gosh, I just love it. What I decided to do is that I went a little bit old school. I went old school. I just wrapped my wet hair. I put a roller right here at the crown. I tried to do two, but that just didn't work. So I put one here at the crown, and I just wrapped it with I use Nutress. And so it's a foaming wrap. I love this product. I actually dilute it. So I do 50-50. So this is an older bottle that I had of another product. And I do a filtered water and product 50% ratio. Okay, and I just, put a label on here so that way I don't get confused on what I have going. So you can tell that the color, I don't know if it looks different, but this is a lot lighter because I diluted it. So by diluting it, the hair, it's not as heavy on your hair, doesn't weigh the hair down. You won't have this kind of crunchy after effect that you can sometimes have with the wrap foams. Unless you like that look, take your foam wrap and dilute it with filtered water. And you should notice a difference. And maybe don't do a 50-50 ratio, do 1/4, and just see how you like that. Find an old bottle, try it, see if you like it before you do it. Because I would hate for you to do it and you really not like the results. For me, because I have such fine hair, the 50-50 ratio works really well and it doesn't weigh my hair down. This this wrap, I didn't dilute it with 50-50. I used the full product. So it's going to be interesting next week to see what it looks like. Just, I'm a full disclosure girl. So I just like to try different things week to week and just see how it works out for me. And that's how I know. That's how I can share all this stuff with you. So, okay. So I wrapped it. I used I don't know what you guys call them, but I grew up calling these rat tail combs. A rat tail comb is what I still call it. I use a rat tail comb and I wrapped it all the way around. Very carefully took my time, because that's not easy to wrap wet hair. And make sure that you don't have any, hair that's kind of pooled in different areas. So you have to kind of take your time. And then I take a brush and then I smooth it all out. Okay? Just demonstrating. So I smooth it all out. And then I took wrapping strips. The ultra long, just because I don't have the energy for things that want to break and tear. And I use the extra long so I can just really make sure that I've got a really my hair really securely wrapped and it's smooth underneath and I don't have any issues. So this is the brand I love. I love these. I love that they just are really durable and they're durable enough for me to reuse them. So I will fold them back up and reuse them. I mean, it's not a one and done for me. I reuse these as long as they haven't torn and they're super strong. So they last longer and this helps. There are only 40 strips in here, right? So I reuse them. I'll take them and put them in my travel bag so that when I travel, if I have to shampoo my hair, I have the things that I need. Oh my God. And I have a little pump, a small, oh, here it is. I have a small little pump that I use, and I can travel, so I can put product in it and travel and take it with me. Because sometimes, you know, we got to touch up our hair. We don't know when we're going to have to do that. So always, look, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Then I pull the hair down and it was silky and smooth. And I tried to explain it to my daughter before I did it. And she was kind of like, she'd never seen one of those dryers, and she was kind of looking at me really strange. And so when I pulled my hair down, I showed it to her and she was like, okay. It looked like I had blow dried my hair, and it looked like I had flat ironed it. And so now what I'm going to actively do is not consistently flat iron my hair and use a flat iron just for a simple touch up here and there. I really want to keep the hair away from as much heat and let that be an exception. So I will also, with that soft hood dryer, I can also do heat treatments and just do the things that will help strengthen the hair. I've started on my biotin pills again. Biotin hair, skin, and nails. I use Purvana Max. Love these. I've been using these for years. I used to buy them from a health food store. And that company went out of business. And then one day I started Googling it and I found them on Amazon, and I've been buying them directly ever since. Great product. They have a little bit of a weird aftertaste, but we're just dealing with that, right? I'm gonna pull the hair down. I have this fan on because, girl, it's hot. Okay, there we go. Turn it off. And so, and I found this incredible steel pin paddle brush. Evan had this paddle brush in his salon, and I was like, oh, I need this. And he's like, Tricia, you don't need every tool that I have. I said, I absolutely do. And so I remembered the name of it, and then I came home and bought it. So, you know, what I find is that the tools that you use matter. And so this, and he said something really interesting. When you comb your hair with a comb, it's going to make the hair, finer, right? It's going to make the hair finer. But when you use a paddle brush to comb the hair, it gives it some volume. And so this is just me pulling down the wrap, molded and hood dried hair. So this is no flat iron. As my hair gets longer, some of the fullness is lost, just because of the nature of the hair getting longer. And so he adds a little texture to my hair. Let me see if I can see. My hair just really was a lot fuller 4 or 5 months ago, and I just don't like how fine and stringy it looks. And so that's why I'm going back. I'm going to not use any heat products on my hair and just see what that hair looks like. So, you know, on the journey, we have to do different things. And so one thing you can count on is my transparency. I'm going to be transparent about where I am on the journey, what's working for me, what's not working. If you're someone who can avoid heat products to your hair, please do that, because it really thins the hair, right? And if you have fine hair already, and so, you know, I'll do something with it and jazz it up. But this is just in, you know, the more you manipulate that hair, and give it some life and body and a little style to it. And I have my volumizing spray that I also use, and that gives me a little volume as well. And so this product, I'm having a hard time talking today. This product is incredible. And so I can spray this in. And it will give it some nice volume as well. And so if I do want to use a little bit of heat, it's going to be a low heat flat iron that doesn't have, you know, this I've had forever. There is a newer version that's also in my hair care must-have list, and it has a dial control on it. This one is very low heat. I actually bought that one and then I returned it because I didn't like how hot it got. And so, because again, my hair is so fine, I just need just a little bit of heat sometimes. But not all the time. I don't always do it. But if I want to apply heat, I use this low temperature flat iron, and it works great. I've had this one for years, and she stands up just fine the test of time, so I don't need to invest in another one. But I did think, oh, let me get a newer version of her, and it just got too hot, and I ended up sending it back because I have to be really careful about that. So that's my hair care routine. If you have products that work really well for you, drop them in the comments, share them with us. One thing I love about the space and the community that we're building is that we share here. We share in this space. We share what's working. We share tips. Someone, you know, another viewer will say, someone will say, you know what, that product works really well, but you need to use it this way. Another viewer will say, yeah, I've used that product. It doesn't really work well for me, but I found an alternative, or found a less expensive alternative. You know, and so I love that about our space. Oh, there's one more thing that I use, and I forgot to mention that. I use this Pantene Miracle Rescue Deep Conditioner treatment, and I actually leave this in. I use a really tiny amount, and it gives me heat protectant. And I find that when I don't use it, my hair is very flat and stringy. And when I do use it, the hair has a much better feel to it. It's actually lighter and softer. I kind of did a little researching, looking for a lightweight heat protector. And this product, some of the reviews shared and product information is that a small amount could be used as a heat protectant. And I believe that there's some amino acids, small amounts of amino acids in this product. Can't remember, I'm not exactly sure. Don't quote me on that, but for sure it works really well as a heat protectant. So that was really important for me. There are some volumizing creams that I have tried over the years, but they leave my hair really hard. That's the problem, I think, with the volumizing shampoos, is that they leave your hair really hard and dry feeling. And so I don't really like those very much. So I tend to lean on the products that add a lot more moisture, just because dry hair gets brittle and it breaks. And on the journey, we're continually trying to figure out what products really work. Stick with what works, your baseline, and then add products as your hair changes. Even the hair length, as your hair length changes, how you have to care for your hair. This example this video is a perfect example. As my hair is getting longer, I don't need the trims nearly as much. I'm gonna step into my no makeup look. I'm gonna put some lashes on and get my makeup done. Light coverage. I barely use any product. I use such little product, it confuses me with my new makeup routine. I'm so confused on where the product is and trying to make sure I blend properly because I barely have anything on my face. It's incredible. Akil is incredible. Just learning how to do that has been a little bit of a challenge. So I hope this video helps you. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for your support and the love. I will continue to keep the affirmations coming. If you're looking to go deeper, there are a ton of products on my website, from affirmations that you can download, journaling prompts for overcoming divorce. Certainly I have the healing books. I have a men's book that will drop later this month. I offer virtual classes. And so where there are virtual classes that start at the top of each month or the end of each month into the next month, they're 4 weeks. I mean, there's so much available. I have a new website coming. There's so many very cool, exciting things. So a new website, a new look. Some of you may have noticed some of the changes in some of the images already because I'm doing it slowly and gradually. And most importantly, I'm grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for sharing time with me today. I am sending you well wishes and blessings on your hair journey, just your life journey, But I'm sending you blessings on this hair journey, and that you find the products that you need to elevate your hair, which elevates your confidence and who you are stepping into your most amazing life. Okay, so I jump back in just to show you my hair. Because I put that textured spray in my hair, I actually needed to run the flat iron through it because it made it, gave it texture. And so I just take this, like I said, this really tiny flat iron. It's aged. She's aged, but she works very well. And I just ran it through my hair very quickly. Just very, very quickly, just to comb through that texturizing spray. And so it gives the hair a little bit more volume. But if you've ever used a texturizing spray, or a dry shampoo does very similar things, it will kind of almost give your hair this kind of dry, crunchy feeling if you're not careful. And so because it's kind of pulling, this is pulling some of the moisture out. Almost gives it that kind of teased effect. For those of you that have ever teased your hair, we used to tease our hair back in the day to give it height and volume. So it gives it that kind of feeling. So, like I said, just running a flat iron through, and that's the look. So I haven't put any lashes on yet. I'm gonna just throw my lashes on and a little makeup. This is a great little product that I started using. It's by Yummy Skin. It's a water outer serum. And so you just use it in the areas where you get oily. So I get oily on the tip of my nose and on my eyelids. And you just used a very little product. Pat it gently on your eyelids. It reduces shine. And so I also sweat on my brows. They get a little shiny sometimes. So I just applied a little bit there, and a little goes a long way, so you don't need to use very much. Use my contour, which I used to do that at the end. And so like I said in the beginning, this new makeup routine is very, very confusing to me. The placement of the product is very confusing because I'm just using very few products and super confused by placement. And then we're rolling with it. All right. Thank you so much for sharing time with me today. We talked about hair, we talked about hair growth, we talked about hair products, we talked about some of the hair changes with some of my new hair routines. And so hopefully this helped you today. It's always great sharing time with you, and I'll see you on the next video.